Have you ever been outside on a perfect, sunny day, looked at your solar setup, and just wondered, why isn't it hitting that huge number printed right on the panel? If you have, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to get to the bottom of this gap between a solar panel's promise and its actual real-world performance.
Right, let's just tackle this head-on. You bought a 400-watt panel, the sun is blazing, so where are your 400 watts? You know, it's probably one of the most common questions in the solar world, and the answer isn't that your panel is broken. Nope, it's all about understanding what that number on the sticker actually means.
And this really gets to the heart of it. On the left, you've got the rated power. That's the promise, right? The number from a perfect world factory lab. But then on the right, you have the actual output, what your panel is really doing when it's bolted to your roof, dealing with real weather, real heat, and everything else. So, to get the reality, we first have to unpack the promise.
Okay, so, part 1, the solar panel promise. So where in the world does that big number on the panel even come from? Well, like I said, it all starts in a laboratory.
Every single solar panel is rated using something called Standard Test Conditions, or STC. You know, the best way to think about this is like a car's official MPG rating. It's a perfectly controlled, standardized test designed for one reason, so you can compare panel A to panel B on a level playing field. But here's the key thing to remember. It is not a prediction of what's going to happen on your roof.
And this is where that gap between the lab and your roof really opens up. See, the STC lab needs 3 perfect, and I mean perfect, conditions. First, you need the intensity of a midday sun hitting the panel at a perfect angle. Second, the panel itself has to be at a nice, cool 25 degrees Celsius. That's 77 Fahrenheit. And third, even the light spectrum itself has to be ideal. So you tell me, how often do all 3 of those things happen at the exact same time in the real world? The answer is almost never.
Part 2, putting it to the test. Okay, so theory is one thing, but we wanted to see this in action. We took a panel out into the field to measure its actual output under real, constantly changing conditions. And here's how we did it.
Now, if you're going to get accurate data, you have to use the right gear. We're talking a true RMS multimeter for clean readings, a DC clamp meter to measure current, and of course, all the safety equipment. Insulated gloves and proper fuses are absolutely non-negotiable. Because, and I can't stress this enough, the DC voltage coming off these panels is no joke. You need a healthy respect for it. So we followed a careful 5-step process. First, we safely measured the panel's max potential, its open circuit voltage, and its short circuit current. Then with an inline fuse connected for protection, we hooked everything up and just started recording the voltage and the current as the day went on. Finally, it's just a matter of doing that simple math at the bottom. Power equals voltage times current.
Part 3, the real-world factors. And this is where it gets really interesting. Our field test immediately pointed to 3 main culprits that explain why those lab ratings and real-world results are so different.
So first up is the sun's angle, which decides the irradiance. Now that's just a fancy word for how much solar energy is actually hitting your panel. When the sun is high in the sky around noon, you're at peak power. But in the morning or afternoon, that lower angle means less energy. It's a really simple rule. If you're only getting, say, 80% of that ideal sunlight, well, you're only going to get about 80% of the power.
Okay, now for the factor that surprises almost everyone. Heat. You'd think the hottest, sunniest day of the summer would be solar panel nirvana, right? Well, it turns out that's totally wrong. High temperatures are actually the enemy of a panel's efficiency. And this slide gives us the hard numbers. For a pretty typical panel, you're going to lose about 0.3% of your power for every single degree Celsius the panel itself, not the air, the panel, goes above that ideal 25-degree lab temperature. Just think about it. On a hot roof, a panel can easily hit 60 or 70 degrees Celsius. Those tiny losses add up incredibly fast. And it's all because the heat actually causes the panel's voltage to drop.
But of all the things we tested, this next one is by far the most dramatic. Even a tiny bit of shade, I'm talking from a single leaf, a vent pipe on your roof, even some bird droppings, can absolutely crush your panel's output.
I mean, just look at this. It's staggering. On the left, under full sun, our panel was cranking. But when we shaded just one single cell on that panel, look what happened. The output just plummeted. So why? Well, think of the cells in a panel like a garden hose. They're all connected in a series. Shading one cell is like putting a big kink in that hose. It doesn't just slow the flow in that one spot. It creates a bottleneck that chokes the flow of electricity for the entire panel.
So, part 4. What this means for you. After seeing the lab promise and the real-world test, what's the big takeaway for your own solar project? This right here, this is the number to burn into your brain. On a good, clear day with a decent sun angle, you should realistically expect your panels to produce somewhere between 70 and 95% of their rated power. If you're hitting that range, congratulations, your system is performing exactly as it should.
So, to just boil it all down, use that STC rating to compare panels when you're shopping, not to predict your daily output. Always factor in those power losses from heat, especially if you live in a hot climate. Be absolutely obsessive about avoiding even the smallest sliver of shade, and finally, always put safety first when you're working with DC power.
And on that note of safety, we absolutely have to be crystal clear about this. This whole explainer is for educational purposes only. DC electricity can be very dangerous, so please consult a qualified, certified professional for any hands-on installation or diagnostic work.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. Understanding this gap between a panel's rating and its reality, it's not discouraging, it's empowering. It lets you design a smarter, more efficient system and set realistic expectations right from day one. So the real question is, now that you know the reality, how are you going to design your system?